Hello. It's a route one encounter you bar eradicate, and I'm hidden. Should I pop in to say hi? Oh, jeez, hold on. Ugh. Where's my camera? There it is. Oh, Jesus. Hello. It's a round one encounter you bar eradicate, and I'm gonna have my camera off for most of the stream, but I want to say hi. You can see all my wonderful boxes behind me. Yeah, but I am going to be streaming Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee this weekend with my wonderful, beautiful Silva, and I don't have an overlay, so I decided to, instead of using the Phazon Soul Edge overlay for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I decided that I would draw one again. But the problem being that I don't really know how to draw Pikachu, or grass, or clouds, or anything really. So this stream I'm going to kind of learn how to draw Pikachu, and then start working on their overlay. I kind of have an outline done already, but it's not much of anything. I'm going to grab a couple more images and then we shall begin. So bye. I guess this could also turn into a design discussion about Pikachu, because one of the images that I have grabbed already is okay, but this image right here, edit, paste, kablamzo. We have our Pokken Pikachu. So Pokken Pikachu can be the topic of some discussion, and then other than that, Pikachu from Origins maybe is the only other thing I can think of. What the fuck? Yo, I hate Pokemon fans. I'm gonna post this real quick. I hate Pokemon fans. Why do they do this? Why do they want Pokemon to be like this? This is terrible. Alright, well, wouldn't it be cool if... No, it wouldn't. Stop it, you. I'm looking at grass references right now, is why the screen's not changing. Sorry. This is weird. This is a very weird stream so far, but we have Chain Body over here, which is pretty cool. Shout out to Chain Body. And then yeah, our oh, we have this Pikachu. The dog is leaving. Oh, somebody's home. Oh Christ. Pokken Pikachu. Pokken Pikachu, I remember, because that was like the first one that people started mentioning, were like, this looks weird when Pokken was being announced. When Pikachu was confirmed, people were like, I don't know about that. But I'm sure he's grown on all of us. Alright. So here's our Pikachus, right? Generally speaking, here's our Pikachus. This is going to be tough because I can't see the chat well. Pikachu fans rise up. Gamers rise up. Alright, so let's look at... let's just turn this into a bootleg design discussion, I guess. But then I guess I need a picture of older Pikachu besides Fat Pikachu. So, like, let's find old Pikachu's sprite. Let's just... There we go. Perfect. Okay, so... Pikachu, right? Yeah. This is good. Pikachu. Hunter bands. We have got our old Pikachu, our old Chain Body style Fat Pikachu. We've got more modernized, regular ass Pikachu that we know and love over here. I hope you can see my cursor. We got regular Pikachu here, and then we got Pokken Pikachu, and we got our Pokemon Origins style Roundhead Pikachu. We have our new modern Pikachu, or live action Pikachu, And then we have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, which is weird because it's kind of like regular anime Pikachu, but it has the round head. Why are we doing a Pikachu discussion when the Jigglypuff is right there? I don't want to talk about the Jigglypuff. That's why we're doing Pikachu. I don't want to have nothing to do with that there, Jigglypuff. But so on Classic Pikachu, as we can clearly see, he was just a fat. He's based on the Pika mouse. Let's pull up the Pika mouse. Why don't we? To kind of get an idea of what they were trying to do with this little chubby bitch here. Okay, you know what? I can see this. Upon pulling up a picture of a Pika mouse, I can see this. Let me try to find an optimal one for body size here. For body shape. It's a cute little creature. You can also hear my cute little creature honking in the background. Here is a Pika mouse. There he is up there. Give me 1 second to close my door. Okay. So we have the Pika mouse. So as you can see, Pika mouse. If you look at the body proportions, it makes sense what they were going for originally, where it was, you know, like, because they have this. This is kind of a rat's. So a rat's body type is like their ribs are kind of like here, right? And you have like the rib cage. I mean, this isn't the rib cage, but consider this to be like their torso. And then they have like this hump on their spine, like where their hips are, and their legs attach like this, right? It's hard for me to explain. This isn't exactly accurate because I'm going off of like, you know, a weird picture here, but you know, you can kind of see like the body shape of a rat or a mouse here. There's the foot. There's a foot. Here's a foot. There's a foot. Or a Winky, whichever you decide. And then their heads are a little bit, they're a lot more elongated than people kind of realize, I think, but not quite as elongated as always cartooned. So what's weird about this though is that Pika mice don't seem to have like long tails. I'm looking at a bunch of pictures of them here and they don't seem to have long tails. Like they don't seem to have any kind of visible tail. This is a good image of one too. Let me copy this here. Here's another good picture of a Pika mouse. Hello?
Can I have one of these?
Sure.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. My mom's stealing my beer, guys. Anyway. Okay. So this is our Pika mouse. We'll use this as the actual, like, base thing. So, like, there's chest. Their arms are kind of poofy, which makes a lot of sense when you look at Pikachu, how his arms are kind of fatter up top, and then they get like these little tiny hands down here. Which is kind of just that's a rodent thing in general, is they have like, they look like they're wearing pajamas, which is cute. And we have our hips, and the little back hump, and then rounder head with the little elongated, and then the ears, right? Which is like, if you just took this sketch, this is like a fucking generic-ass mouse shape. But no tail, which is weird. I guess they don't really have tails. But all you really have to do is take the ears and point them out like this. And then add the little tail. And, like, that's a Pikachu, right? With freakishly large hands. And I also drew on the wrong layer, but that's a Pikachu. So as soon as I backspace all of this, it's going to end up with like one left. No, nice. But yeah, so basic design, it makes sense what they were going for. He's a big round boy with a round ass head, and then his ear, like the ears are the weirdest part to me, because like ever since realizing that he was supposed to be a mouse, it's like, why did they go with the pointy ears? But I guess because it's a fantastical creature. But he maintains the body shapes of a rodent, kind of like, you know, like Raticate does. What's weird is the way his arms are attached sometimes, because, like, as you can see on the Pokémon model here, he has, like, a proper-ass shoulder. Like, I could draw a fucking, like, here's Pikachu's arm, and then he has a little hand on the end there, right? And, like, there's the shoulder, and then that comes down into, like, his little pectoral area, over into the shoulder over here, into like, you know, forearm, and then its hand. And like, you can kind of draw like like human anatomy over this Pikachu, which is this is what makes it fucking creepy, and why it looks so off-putting sometimes, like to some people at certain angles. Because you have like a human torso, and then Pikachu's head and feet, and then the tail, and like even the ears are kind of smaller than, or they're not smaller, but they're like longer and narrow, more so than like Origins Pikachu's ears or Anime Pikachu's ears or Classic Pikachu ears. There's just something off about it that like you can like these aren't that long, but these ears are super long for some reason. It's really bizarre. But they had to make Pikachu like that so that he could animate to do Heihachi moves. And maybe the ears are a reference to Heihachi's hair. I don't know. When we get to live action Pikachu, so the thing is that, you know, with this, like I was saying, like where Pikachu's arms, like in the anime, would come down like this, like he doesn't really have a defined shoulder. It's kind of like Raticate, where his hands are just like attached to the front of his body, and Pikachu's kind of like that too, where they just kind of hang off the front of his body, in a really weird way. Like right here, they're starting here and going up. They're not starting from the shoulder and like, you know what I mean? For Classic Pikachu is they're not. Normally your shoulder would be here and your arm would come off of it, but this is like the arm is coming from where the pectoral would be and then shooting off. And so normally that's how it is, but then sometimes you get these weird shoulder things like this. And with the new Pikachu, he's got like regular real mouse anatomy, where like he has a shoulder here that the arm is coming down because it can't just be attached to his chest. So you can see where like here's the shoulder and then the arm, and over here is a shoulder and then an arm, and then the head's attached on top. He also has the light underneath, the light fur underneath that the original Pikachu design has. If you look down at the sprites down here, he has a different colored belly, which is cool. And you can't really see his tail in the shot, but his tail looks kind of weird too in the new movie. But the tail is something that's always eluded me when trying to draw Pikachu. For some reason, I can't internalize the way it zigzags. Like something about the way I draw it always comes out wrong. So we're gonna try to fix that. It's funny in the original art, because in the original sprite from Red and Blue, I mean not the green one, it's kinda, but here the tail almost looks like it's like a straight line and then has a zigzag on the end, which is more consistent with Raichu's design. But Raichu doesn't matter anymore, right guys? So we'll just forget about Raichu. Doesn't matter. But so Pikachu's head is also kind of like a jelly bean shaped, where it's got like the little his cheeks puff out, you know, and so that's important. The mouth is always like, it's not quite a little kitty face. Like here, it's kind of the like XD rar face, right? And here it's the XD rar face, but it's kind of not. It's not as pointy as like, you know, a Skitty or something like that. And also another thing that bothers me about the live action Pikachu is that he has this little dark under lip here, and like something about it, I don't know what it is. It's the dark under like lower lip, and it's the thing around the eyes, like the black around the eyes, that just something about it's not right to me. And you can also really see on the live action one how his ears don't really make any sense, because like how does he hear? Like there should be a little thing here. If we're going really live action, then whatever. I don't know. It's fine. If Pikachu's based off the Pika Mouse, why isn't a Pika Mouse playing Pikachu in the movie? I can't believe they'd be so racist. That's correct. Well, they did in fact get Scarlett Johansson to play Pikachu in the movie, as you can see. It's really weird, and I'm not super cool with it. I think that if you're gonna like adapt something, you should adapt it accurately. But they decided to get Scarlett Johansson, so you know, who am I? But so if I was gonna draw Pikachu, this is the tricky part. And I have this with Sonic too, which is a weird pull. But it's how to like decide where all the parts of their body goes, right? So like for Pikachu here, he's got his baggy little like sleeping bag legs, and then but it's like, where do I draw his torso? Because with Raticate, whenever I'm drawing Raticate, it's easy, kind of. It's like you have his head and then his like lower half, right? And he's two circles, easy. And then you like attach the two circles, and then you have his mouth, right? And then his eyes. This is a perfect Raticate. His little ears and his hands, and then his feet, right? And that's Eradicate. That's easy, right? Whiskers. Perfect. But Pikachu's weird because he kind of has a little torso, but he kind of doesn't sometimes, depending on the design. So, like, here he has a little torso, and then the body, and then the legs. But, like, if I'm drawing Let's Go Pikachu, I guess I'm drawing his head would be a circle, right? Start with a circle, like we always do. And then off the circle, we do kind of like the little anime girl cheeks into the big round face, right? And there's kind of our Sans Undertale Pikachu shaped face. And then the ears are like not super long, but they're long and they're kind of chunky. This is like my first time ever attempting to draw Pikachu with any sort of like reason or logic. We'll erase the lower half here. And then, so the eyes are another thing, is the eyes are kind of set wide apart a little bit here. Not super wide, but they're kind of like, let's say they are in line with the ears, like the base of the ears, right? Kind of, because it's like, here's the top of the ear. So do we want to say like top of the ear to the side of the eye, maybe? Is that consistent? That looks pretty consistent, yeah. Alright, so then let's do that. Go top of the ear down to the side of the eye. And they are just kind of like circle eyes. It's nothing too special about the shape of his eyes. And then this one has to be kind of at an angle, so. And then for the nose, he tends to have just a little triangle nose. Yeah, just kind of a standard little, even in the live action, even in the in-real Pikachu, he just got a little triangle nose. That works. And then, like I said, his mouth is like the kitty face, but not quite a kitty face, so we'll do this. And then his little cheeks. And there's kind of sort of our Pikachu. The ears are weird because the shape of the little black part changes sometimes, I think. Or sometimes it's an angle, sometimes it's like a straight line around. It seems to be mostly nowadays angled downwards starting from the top. So, oh, whoops, don't want to do that because we're drawing on that layer. I almost erased the whole layer. So starting from the top, angled downward, I guess this is how we're doing our ears now. There's our ears. And now for the body. So we're not gonna, I think the problem is that I always want to take the arms into account when that's not how Pikachu's drawn. It's kind of like with Sonic, I was mentioning, where Sonic, like it's weird because he doesn't have a neck, but like I kind of want to draw him around a neck. But so we would draw like this, and then his baggy little sleeping bag pants, right? And then his arms would come off like this, with his little lemon fingers, as Kooky always liked to put it. He's got his little lemon fingers, and he does have 5 fingers now, right? Because originally, I don't know, I think he had like 3, but yeah, now he has 5. He's got 5 little fingers, so he can hold a baseball bat if he needs to. He can hold a pickaxe. And then that's where we define the little shoulder. There we go. Yeah. And then his feet are pretty simple. Little pecan feet. He's got little almond feet. They got 3 toes. And then his tail is the weird part. His tail's the weird part. And like, how many zigzags do we have on the tail? It's arbitrary, because here's 1, 2, 3, and then the tail. This looks like 1, 2, and then tail, because I don't see a third notch here. Here it's 1, 2, 3, tail. Maybe it is 1, 2, 3, tail. Is that how it goes? 1, 2, 3. No, well, this would be 1, 2. Yeah, this is 2 tail. poking, I don't know. 1, 2, tail. Yeah, see, it's between 3 and 2. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll go 1, 2, 3, tail. And then it's always kind of angled outwards. So it's angled like this. But kind of like higher. It's more blocky. It's like that. But that looks weird to me. See, I don't know what it is about his tail. Like, I'm probably just overthinking it, but, like, there's something, I don't know, it's something about his tail that I can't seem to pinpoint. I'm going to do 1, 2. We're going to do 1, 2, tail. Chonk, down, 1, 2, like that. See, that makes more sense to me a little bit. And there's our Pikachu. That looks more or less like a Pikachu, right? This fat little head. There he is. Yep, it's him. Draw Pikachu doing the woe face. I mean, I can just... like that. That's a Pikachu. Cool. So yeah, there's our design discussion about Pikachu. Took me how many months? Took me, I don't know. It's been like 7 months since I did the Blastoise one. But there we go. That's Pikachu. And that's really the only differences between all the different versions of Pikachu, because he's had the most redesign of any Pokemon by far. But yeah, we started with fat body with like awkward arms and legs and like this weird fucking gumdrop shaped head with like, you know, just kind of like weird and awkward looking. And then they refined him into I mean, this looks pretty close to the Let's Go version. Looks pretty close to like the next step of Pikachu. I don't know if I can find his... Let's look for his Gen 2 sprite and see how that looks. Gen 2, the best gen. Everyone knows it. Nobody can debate that. Just hung out and watched Mr. Danger Moss do his Pokemon game tier list. And everyone could agree. There was no dissenting opinions on anything. Copy image. This is gonna suck to... Yep. So this is our Gen 2 Pikachu. Pretty much right off the bat, we got to like... It's still clearly like rounder like the first gen Pikachu. He has less of a defined neck, for one thing. I think the neck and the head are really what separates the different versions of Pikachu. Because, like, and it's not like a full-ass neck, but you can see, like, where there is a separation between head and body, where here there isn't really one. There's more just a separation between cheek and, like, oblong egg shape. But giving him, like, a chin, kind of, like a neck-chin kind of area, and then having the body separately is really what changed across all the different versions. And then he was pretty much the same from Gen 2/3 up until modern day, until Origins gave him the round, like, the oval head. And then it seems to be carrying over to Let's Go a little bit, because he doesn't really have the defined cheeks, but it doesn't look as like weird and like horizontal as that one. But in the movie, you can see he has the defined cheeks again. So I don't know. Pikachu's weird, but maybe that's why it's so hard for me to come up with a consistent like drawing of him. If I could find the person, I'm never going to find it, but there's a person, an artist I follow on Twitter that if anybody has seen, I retweet their Pikachu art a lot, where he just fucking loves drawing Pikachu. And there was a point where he felt guilty for it, where he's like, you know, like, am I being annoying by just drawing Pikachu? And then everyone's like, no, man, it's fine. And he's like, okay, but I'm probably not going to draw too much more Pikachu. And then he's like, hey, guess what? I drew another Pikachu. So, but, yeah, so there's our Pikachu. I think I'll actually try to do, like, a little squishy cheek Pikachu. A little squishy cheek Pikachu. A squishy peak Pikachu. I don't know where's the best place to start this. That should be good. Doesn't look too bad though. but you asked for it, so here it is. It's also really fortunate that on Streamlabs I already... Ooh, look at that shit. I can just do my clouds like that. I can just fucking cheat. Yo, I'm gonna cheat so hard on my clouds. I'm blanking because I'm tired. But yeah, thanks for coming around. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being my bros. And hopefully I'll see you guys for the Let's Go co-op stream. And we'll be running this overlay, and it'll be a little bit prettier next time. Might have more Raticates, might have more Rataz, we'll see. But yeah, have a good night all, and I'll see you around.